Hi, how are you? I'm Anthony from Cypher House, and I have no idea if this video is going to work or not. We're trying something very experimental today. Basically, I'm going to solve a crossword puzzle. Whoa, I know, that's out there. Who expected that? But I'm going to use the answers from the crossword puzzle to inspire a meal that I'm going to actually cook in my kitchen. Basically, I'm going to take several of the answers from the puzzle at a time. I'm going to put them into ChatGPT, and I'm going to let ChatGPT tell me what course that inspires it to create. So in essence, the crossword puzzle is telling me what I'm making for dinner. We're going to be solving another Square Chase puzzle today, and if you missed my shout out to them in the last video, Square Chase is a monthly subscription service on Patreon. For only $1.50 a month, you can get 2 Variety Cryptic crossword puzzles, as well as access to all of the previous Variety Cryptics that have been posted in Square Chase. So it's a really great value, in my opinion, for the price. And I'm not sponsored by Square Chase, I just really like the service, so I figured I'd give it a shout out. We're going to be solving puzzle number 64 called Turkish Delight. And I know you might be thinking that that will sway ChatGPT into picking a Turkish Delight related meal or dish for the meal, but don't worry, that word will never actually be going to ChatGPT, it's just answers from the puzzle. 7 of this puzzle's across entries have been offered a treat and respond appropriately. They are to be entered specially following the instructions in the gift message hidden in the puzzle's clues. Pull the extra words out of 4 of them to find it. The treat itself is spelled from top to bottom in the 7 squares beneath the ends of the thematic entries. Enumerations have been withheld. So 4 of our clues are going to have extra words. Those give us the gift instructions, and that should tell us what we're doing with our 7 across entries that have been given a treat. For the sake of what words we're going to feed to ChatGPT, we're going to give it 10 answers at a time. Those 10 answers will inspire a course of our meal. We're going to have an hors d'oeuvre, an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. There's only 37 clues, so I figured we will feed the final treat answer into the final ChatGPT prompt for the dessert. And otherwise, we're just going to take these in the order that I solved them. Unexpectedly missing Michigan beach locale. Unexpectedly missing is MIA, and Michigan is MI to get Miami, which is beach locale. One dines freely, not al fresco, is indoors. It's an anagram of dines with an extra I for one, so it's inside. Okay, and we can't fit that into the grid, so I'm going to mark that as unplaced yet. Born next door to kosher joint. I'm guessing kosher is just being abbreviated with a K here, and born is N-E-E, so a joint is the knee. Republican crew need sound in the arena. Republican is an R, a crew's need is an OR for rowing a boat, a rowing crew, and a sound in an arena is a roar. Metal act finally fashionable. Act finally is the letter T, and if something's fashionable, it's in, so we get tin. Sunbathe on esplanade holding soulmate. Hidden in sunbathe on esplanade is the one. The one is your soulmate. Oh, that doesn't fit in the grid, just like inside, so it's probably another one of our treat answers. Tearjerker on cable rerun channel. I'm thinking this might be onion. An onion's a tearjerker. On is on. And then I think Ion is a channel that reruns shows on cable. Furtively move hash out of delis. I think it's slide. It's just an anagram of delis. All right, over to the down clues. We have 6 currently feeding into the hors d'oeuvres. We only need a few more. Excellent referee for getting the first rule. I feel like it's umpire. It fits the grid. Oh, I see. It's empire. Excellent is an E. Umpire forgets the first letter. And then rule is the definition. Name in forged memories the wrong name. I think we're anagramming memoirs and an extra N for name here. I feel like it's gonna be miss something. Misnomer, maybe? Yeah, misnomer. Second-rate Senate working out feet in decimal system. Am I anagramming B for second rate with Senate. Base 10. I think we're doing with base 10. I feel like feet is extra here. I feel like feet doesn't do anything for the clue, but it works better if we say second rate Senate is the fodder, working out, so anagram it to get in decimal system. Topless golf club's advantages. A golf club is a wedge. Taking off the first letter, we get edges. Okay, so that should be our 10 feeder words to give ChatGPT to find an hors d'oeuvre. Hello, ChatGPT. I'm trying to cook a meal, and I need your help to pick the dishes for that meal. I will give you several random words for each course, and you use those words to generate a dish idea that is tasty, easy to make, and uses only relatively common ingredients. Are you ready for the first dish? Hey there, that sounds like super fun and a creative way to plan a meal. I'm totally in. Hit me with the words for the first dish and we'll whip up something delicious together. The first course is hors d'oeuvres, and the words for inspiration are Miami, knee, roar tin, onion, slide, empire, misnomer, base 10, edges. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. Here's what jumps out. Miami, tropical vibes, maybe something Latin-inspired. Onion is an easy, flavorful, and common. Nice, yes, very good. Tin, maybe something canned, like tuna or sardines. Good idea. Empire makes me think of New York, bagels, deli flavor. Dish idea, mini tropical tuna and onion sliders on cucumber rounds. Description, a fresh, zesty hors d'oeuvre, cool cucumber rounds topped with a tropical tuna salad. Think Miami sweet onion and a little heat for a flavor roar. Easy to prepare ahead, no cooking required, and super refreshing. All right, we have our first dish. Okay, welcome to the actual Cypher House. This is my kitchen, and this is where I'm going to be making all of the dishes. The first thing that we need to actually do is to feed Nuri. Nuri really likes tuna treats, kind of like this one. And you're supposed to be able to just squeeze the packet and they'll lick it off the end, but Nuri never quite learned how to do that, so I have to put it in a bowl for her. All right, Nuri, you ready? Yeah, here you go. I'll give it right out here. How's this? All right, Nuri, here you go. Enjoy, kitty. Good girl. Okay, we have all the ingredients here that I need for our mini tropical tuna and onion sliders on cucumber rounds. Some of it I already had, some of it I had to buy at the store. I've already done a little bit of prep work, like I've diced up the onion. We don't need this whole onion for this dish, but some of it we're going to use for another dish. And we have our cucumber rounds that I've already sliced up there. So now, according to ChatGPT's instructions, in a bowl, which I've got here, I have to mix the tuna, as well as basically everything. So I'm about to start mixing. All right, now I just gotta put a little bit of the tuna mixture onto each cucumber. We're gonna do our best with this. The mixture is a little bit more watery than I think it's meant to be. I might have put in too much mayonnaise. Oops, live and learn. Okay, now I just have to garnish with some chives here. Okay, and with that, we finished the hors d'oeuvres. Let's get a look at the final product here. There they are. That's our mini tropical tuna and onion sliders on cucumber rounds. They actually turned out not bad. I thought for a second I had way too much cucumber and not enough of the topping, but it was actually just about the right amount. Now for the big question, how does it taste? All right, I'm about to give one a try. Let's see how it is. Good crunch from the cucumber. It's really not bad. Like, for something that ChatGPT just kind of generated, it's pretty dang good, I think. If I were to do it again, I would do less mayo, a little more of like the hot sauce. I could probably honestly use a bit more salt and pepper too. I didn't really measure anything, I just kind of went with vibes. Honestly, I think I would give this hors d'oeuvre like a 6 out of 10. It's really not bad. Okay, with our first course out of the way, it's time to continue our solve and start preparing our appetizer. The pseudo-evolved part of America. I might be anagramming the pseudo. It looks like it might be deep south. Something tells me we might be getting like a New Orleans-inspired dish for the appetizer. Just so that I don't get confused, I'm going to highlight all the words that I used for hors d'oeuvres. Time to perform wearing knockout dress. Okay, I see this one. Knockout is KO. Time to perform is wearing, so time to perform goes inside KO. If it's time to perform, something you might say is I'm on. So time to perform in knockout gives kimono, which is a dress. Now we're going with a Japanese-inspired appetizer. Opie dies in twist prequel of the 90s. Feel like I'm anagramming Opie dies. It's episode something. Roman numeral 1. Episode 1 is definitely a prequel of the 90s. Pilots stuffing shirts with foreign money. I think the answer to this one is trials. Rial is foreign money. It's in T's, which is shirts. And so pilots are trials. I think that makes sense. Like a pilot for a TV show is a test episode. Undistinguished finish for thespian playing a crossword maker. I think this is gonna be no name. Undistinguished is the definition. Finish for thespian is the last letter, so a letter N. Playing is on. If something's on, it's currently playing. A is A. And crossword maker is me, or the person who set this puzzle. We've also finished 21 across by filling that in, so I'm gonna take a peek at that one. I see the parse for this one. Roughly is the definition of or so. The third letter of a famous cookie, being Oreo, should become an S for satisfactory. Fights headless corpses. I think corpses are gonna be stiffs. And we're making that headless, so we're getting rid of the first letter to get tiffs, which are fights. I'm half wondering, because feet is one of our gift message words, I wonder if we're just taking the last letter off of these. It kind of works so far. Preserve graduate degree with wood framing. It's looking now like it's going to be embalm. Yeah, MBA is a graduate degree and elm is wood. I think I see 15. I think a key item is an option, and wizard's needs are potions, but we've twisted the first 2 letters. So this one doesn't fit in the grid, but it does still have the same pattern of, it would fit if we just remove the last letter. I'm gonna wait till we have one more of these before starting to put them in, but I'm feeling a decent amount more confident that we're just removing the last letter of our treated 7 across entries. 3 is balsam. It's Ma's lab backwards. Okay, we need one more for our appetizers, and we finished 16 across with that one. Let's take a look. Males going through each feminist novel. Okay, it's gonna be Emma. 2 males, MM, going through each EA to get the feminist novel. And we have removed the last letter to that one, just like our other across answers. So I'm going to include Emma as an answer for our appetizers, and I'll include the others as part of our main course. Nice one, ChatGPT. The next course is the appetizer, and the words for inspiration are Deep South, Kimono, Episode 1, Trails, No Name, Orso, Tiffs, Embalm, Balsam, Emma. Deep South, soul food, smoky, hearty, maybe okra, cornbread, or collard greens. Kimono, Japanese influence, soy, miso, clean flavors. No Name, Tiffs, a humble dish, maybe rustic or comforting, born from scraps or conflict. Dish idea, miso collard green dumplings with balsamic dipping sauce. That's gonna be tough to make, isn't it? I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to find dumpling wrappers at the store. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Never cooked collard greens before, so I'm just frying them up in some butter. Added a little salt and pepper. I think that's going well, I don't know. Okay, I have all the ingredients here for our miso collard green dumplings and balsamic dipping sauce. I have never cooked with collard greens before, so I just kind of fried them up in some butter in a pan, and I have absolutely never tried to roll dumplings before, so this is going to not go well. Okay, while I'm waiting for the dumplings to finish defrosting, I'm gonna mix up the dipping sauce. So we're starting with some balsamic. Okay, the dumplings are starting to feel like they're ready to work with, so we're gonna give this a try. There's a layer of dumpling. That's actually pretty good to work with. I was really worried when it was frozen, because it wasn't, like, movable at all. But that actually doesn't feel too bad to work with. Am I supposed to tear along this perforation? I might be. This might actually be 3 dumplings here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the collard green mixture onto this dumpling. Do I just fold it over itself? That could be a dumpling, right? That looks a little dumpling size. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm gonna use a fork to crimp the edges of the dumpling so that it hopefully stays together. All right, and we have our first little dumpling. It doesn't look bad. We'll see if it stays together when I go to cook it. Okay, I made a bunch of dumplings until I ran out of collard greens. I still have some dumplings themselves left over. It actually went a lot better than I expected. Like, some of them, as you can see, it's kind of like falling out the sides a little because I wasn't super careful, but like, overall, those look like dumplings. All right, and here is the final result of our miso collard green dumplings with balsamic dipping sauce. Actually, they look a whole lot better than I expected them to. I expected them to either fall apart as I was making them or fall apart as I was cooking them, and they look like fried dumplings. All right, here goes. Still a little warm on the inside. Okay, this is going from a silly little cooking challenge to like how I recommend you cook. I'm surprised by a second dish in a row here. I've never cooked dumplings before. And ChatGPT threw dumplings at me. These turned out great. Like, sure, the visual presentation of them it leaves some to be desired. Absolutely, you know, I can get better at that for sure. But the taste? Shockingly good. I'm giving the dumplings an 8 out of 10. All right, now we're gonna be working on the main course, something a bit more substantial. I'm going to start by filling in our red answers that we haven't filled in yet. That includes inside. Okay, what else can we solve here? New arrivals calling out travel accommodations is births. Births are newborns, new arrivals, and it sounds like BERTHS, which are travel accommodations. Okay, I think I figured out 24. The answer is formation, which is a structure. It's supporting is 4, a wrestling surface is a mat, and then it's returning champions, so number 1, NOI, backwards. Okay, 26, a store event is a sale, and beginning to Madden, the first letter is an M to give a New England town. That means that your, Y-O-U-R, is an extra word in this one. Okay, I figured out 28 across. Monster is the definition. A Nintendo product is an NES. That is IE, and that's co-opting the essential or middle letter of Yoshi to give Nessie, like the Loch Ness Monster. We also finished OISE for 23 down. I think 25 across is freight, heavy stuff being the definition. On is RE, like regarding, and that's during fight, which is a battle. All right, we need one more main course. Something's a little bit wrong in my grid, actually. The answer to 20, leaders of the IMF really easing dollars, is tired. So that means that up is an extra word here. But more importantly, that means that slide is incorrect. I see. I wasn't wrong about the parse. It's just not sliding out of the way. It's probably sidle, which still kind of works for ChatGPT's implementation of slide, which was just something small that could fit in your mouth easily. So I think we're gonna just move on past the slight mistake. That means that we have our last word for the main course. All right, ChatGPT, the next course is the main entree. The inspiration words are inside, option, the one, births, formation, Salem, Nessie, ois, freight, and tired. Inside option, the one, something stuffed, a choose your own element, or just something that feels right, like a crowd pleaser. Salem, witchy New England vibes, earthy autumn flavors, maybe squash herbs, roast meats. Nessie, Scotland, lakes, mystery, maybe something from the water, or just a creature comfort food. Here's the dish idea. Stuffed acorn squash with herbed sausage and barley. It's got the cozy New England energy of Salem, a nod to the formation of flavors inside the squash, and enough comfort to revive even the most tired traveler. Okay, I have all my ingredients here for the stuffed acorn squash with herb, sausage, and barley. I'm not using barley, I am substituting quinoa, which ChatGPT said was okay. I also have my sausage here. I went with some spicy Italian sausage, and we have our acorn squashes, which I've never cooked with these before, so we're gonna see how that works. Okay, so I've cut the acorn squashes in half. I've seeded them and seasoned them with some salt and pepper. I'm about to put them in the oven where they need to stay for like 30 to 40 minutes until they're tender. It's gonna be a little while. So since this dish takes longer to make than the other ones, I'm gonna be filming a lot more sporadically. In the meantime, while that's cooking, I'm gonna be starting cooking my sausage and also cooking the quinoa, because that also takes a while to cook itself. Update, I am cooking the onion, celery, and garlic in there. I have the sausage that I'm going to be adding in soon. The quinoa is done. It stuck a little bit to the bottom of the pot, but I think it's fine. And the butternut squash, let's get a good look at the acorn squash. It's in there. It's browning pretty good. I think it just needs maybe another like 10 minutes or so, and then I'm probably gonna take it out. The acorn squashes have cooked. The filling has been made. I've mixed all the quinoa in with the sausage and the vegetables. So that's all ready to go. All that's left to do is to stuff the acorn squashes and enjoy, really. All right, there she is, our completed acorn squash dish, stuffed. It smells really good. I'm hoping it's nice and tender and that I cooked the acorn squash long enough. It seems like it is. We're going to try our first bite. Why is it so good again? I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but again, I thought this was going to be terrible. Or maybe not terrible, but like, not great, you know? This is getting a high ranking again. I haven't even decided what the ranking's going to be. Probably like a 7. It's not as good as the dumplings. Maybe the dumplings should be higher. I don't know. This is definitely my second favorite. It's better than the hors d'oeuvres, but the hors d'oeuvres were just a quick little thing. All right, so the only thing left for us to do is to solve the last few answers of the crossword, and those will give us what we're having for dessert, in addition to whatever the final treat of the puzzle is. Okay, 6 down, the frat house character is the Greek letter rho, and it's taking in, just the word, to get rhino, which is a wild animal. 5 across, a craft is the definition for barge. A bar is a beer cellar, and superficially, meaning externally, the outside letters of gluten-free are GE. All right, 9 is dashed, which is, the definition is ran, and place where Al Capone stored his tools is da shed. Okay, I think I see what's going on for this one. I believe put is the extra word that we are missing, because that gives us the final gift message of put your feet up. Cocktail is the definition. Weenie's tip is the last letter of weenie, and we're putting that into topping, as in topping somebody else's performance. You're besting them, and that gives us bee sting as our answer. So that gives us lied for 4 down. All right, I got 15 down. Extra is the definition. Donut is an O. Nothing special is average, but only after the first bite, after the first letter, gives V-E-R-A-G-E, so overage is extra. And lastly, we have 22 across. Hot assistant on phone about whiskey request. I'm pretty sure the answer is Irish. The parts for this one is hot is the letter H, and Siri is the assistant on the phone. About means reversed, so we get Irish. Okay, so it says the treat itself that we're looking for is spelled from top to bottom in the 7 squares beneath the ends of the thematic entries. So the ends of the thematic entries are inside, which is here. We have options, end is there. The one ends there. Irish ends there. Those letters spell out Ottoman. But the real question is, what is ChatGPT going to give us for dessert, given all this new information? Thanks, ChatGPT. One more to go. This time we're doing a dessert, and the inspiration words are rhino, barged, dashed, bee, sting, lied, overage, Irish, Ottoman. Rhino, barge, dashed. Big, bold energy, making a dessert that looks heavy but surprises you. Bee sting, immediate thought. Beinstick, a German bee sting cake with honey and almonds? Wow, really? Dish idea, bee sting bread pudding with Irish cream sauce. All right, well, I guess we're gonna try it. Okay, I have all the ingredients here that I need for the bee sting bread pudding with Irish cream sauce. Okay, I've just put most of the ingredients into this bowl. We've got all of the eggs, milk, cream, honey, sugar, vanilla, cinnamon, and salt in here. So this is like a sauce of some kind that I'm whisking together right now that I think we're going to be soaking the bread in. Okay, I've let the bread absorb most of the mixture. It seems like it's a good consistency now, so I'm supposed to sprinkle with the sliced almonds. And now I have to bake it. I'm gonna do that, and in the meantime, I'm gonna work on the sauce. Okay, it's time for me to get the bread pudding out of the oven, and I am very excited to see how it turned out. It looks really good. I also have the sauce over here. I made that, and I'll be drizzling it on top of whatever I eat. Okay, it's time to try the bread pudding. Let's see how it turned out. Pretty good. I think in general, bread pudding is meant to be a bit on the tamer side. It's not supposed to have like a lot of sugar or be super sweet as far as I'm aware. So I think it kind of fits right into the category of what bread pudding is supposed to be. I definitely liked the dumplings and the acorn squash more than this, but I think this outranks the hors d'oeuvres. So I think in hindsight, I'm going to give the hors d'oeuvres like a 5. And I'm probably going to give this a 6. That sounds about right. This is still really good. Nothing that I made was bad, surprisingly. Wow, that was an interesting experience. Or maybe not. I don't know yet, because I'm recording this outro before I go do the cooking segments. Either way, thank you ChatGPT for the experience, and thank you again to Square Chase for these awesome puzzles. Keep them coming. And thank you for watching! Do you want to see me incorporate crossword puzzles into more aspects of my life? If so, I'm up for it. This was an interesting opportunity. Let me know your thoughts and ideas down in the comments section below. Until then, I hope that everybody has a great day, and as always, happy escaping!